Hello everyone, welcome back to Engineering Network. In this lesson, I am going to show you how to find out the volume of concrete of a counterfort retaining wall. But before we start, if you are new here, please subscribe to my channel and click on this small bell icon so that you will get notified on my each update. So let's get started. As you can see here, we have a 3D model of a counterfort retaining wall, and according to this model, the counterfort retaining wall here is a consists of three parts. Okay, the first one is the footing slab, and the second one is the stem of this retaining wall, and the third one is the counterfort buttresses. Here all these buttresses, these are counterfort buttresses. Now to find out the total volume of concrete for this counterfort retaining wall, first we will find out the volume for this footing slab, volume of this stem, and the volume of this counterfort buttress. So let's start. If you look closely here, the shape of this footing slab is rectangle, and we know that the surface area of a rectangle is a width into height. Here width of this footing slab is 12 feet and the height is 1 feet. So simply multiply this 12 with 1 and we will get the surface area for this footing slab. Now to find out the volume, what we will do here, I will just simply multiply this the surface area of this slab with the length of this whole rectangle, which is 60 feet. Okay, and I will get the volume of this slab. So let's do this. First, total volume of counterfort retaining wall is equal to volume of a stem plus volume of first we will find out the volume of slab plus volume of stem, and after that we will find out the volume of counterfort buttress. Okay, it is counterfort buttress. So this is the main formula to find out the total volume of a retaining counterfort retaining wall. Okay, now let's start with the volume of a slab. Okay, so the volume of slab is basically the surface area into length, and the surface area is 12 multiplied by 1 multiplied by length, which is 60 feet. So we will get the volume of the slab, which is 720 CFT. Now after that we will find out the volume of this stem, and if you look closely here, the stem is trapezoidal in shape. Okay, so we will use the formula of a surface area for a trapezoidal, which is a plus b into h by 2. Here h is 15, a is this 8 inches, and b is 2 feet. So we will just simply put all these value in the formula and multiply. After finding the surface area for this stem, we will multiply it with the length of this retaining wall, which is 60 feet. So let's find out volume of stem. Okay, will be equal to a plus b multiplied by h divided by 2, and we'll multiply it with the length of a retaining wall. Okay, so here it is a. So here if you put the values in this formula, then you will get the volume of this stem. Here a is 8 inches, which is 0.6 feet, plus b is 2 feet, and multiply it with a height h by 2. Height of the stem is 15, so 15 divided by 2. Okay, and multiply it with the length of the retaining wall, which is 60 feet. So we will get the volume of the stem 1170 CFT. Okay, right. Now after that I will find out the volume of this counterfort buttress. If you look closely, the shape of this counterfort buttress is also the same as the shape of this stem. It is also trapezoidal in shape, and here a is 1 feet and b is 6 feet and h is same 15 feet. So we'll simply put all these value in the formula, surface area formula of trapezoidal, and multiply it with length. Now here the length of this counterfort buttress is 8 inch, because if you look closely, this counterfort butt is extended only up to 8 inches. So do not take 60 feet here. Okay, you have to take 8 inches here. The length of this counterfort buttress is 8 inches. As I already told you, that the counterfort buttress is only extended here up to 8 inches, and 8 inches is equal to 0.6 feet. So here the volume of a counterfort buttress is equal to, it will be equal to the same formula as the because the counterfort buttress is trapezoidal in shape, so it will be equal to a plus b multiplied by h divided by 2. Okay, and multiply it with the length. Okay, so to by putting the values here a is 1 feet, okay, plus and b is 6 feet, okay, multiply it with the height, which is 15, divided by 2, okay, and multiply it with 8 inches, which is 0.6 feet, and we will get the volume of one counterfort buttress, which is equal to 31.5 CFT. Here, if you look into this 3D model, we have 7 number of counterfort buttress: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So what I will do here, I will just simply multiply this 31.5 with the 7, okay, and 7, and we will get the total volume of counterfort buttress, which is 220.5 CFT. So now the total volume of a counterfort retaining wall is equal to volume of slab, which is 720 CFT, 720 plus volume of stem, which is 1170 CFT, okay, and volume of counterfort buttress, which is equal to 220.5, and I will get the total volume of concrete for a counterfort retaining wall, which is equal to 2110.5 CFT. So this is the total volume of concrete which we will use to construct a counterfort retaining wall, which 2110.5 CFT. Okay, so from this from that we will also find out the quantity of cement and fine aggregate and coarse aggregate as well, and I will do it in my coming episode. So and for now I will end my lesson here. I hope you will like it. If yes, click on the like button. If you have questions, leave it in the comment box, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Until then, it's a goodbye. See you in next lesson.